What's up? Carrie here. So I have something special today for you guys. We are currently looking for a new logo. We've been using this logo for quite a while, but we want something that's our own that we can call our logo. So we are going to be holding a contest. I'm not sure how long it's going to run for, but if we pick your graphic to be our graphic, you could win a band. So get your thinking caps on, sharpen those pencils, and let's do this.
Welcome to the Mod Squad, where we're just a group of friends talking about anything pop culture and bandbox related. I'm your host, Kevin. Joining me as always is Carrie.
Yo.
Felix.
Up.
And we have a guest today. The head moderator, the customer support guru himself, Paul.
The man behind the curtain.
Howdy.
It's howdy doody time.
It is howdy doody time. So right off the bat, I want to start this off. We are going to have a brand new contest.
Another one?
Exciting.
Another one.
We're giving everything away.
We want somebody to design a brand new Mod Squad logo. And your prize, Felix will go over.
What we're doing is, I don't know how long it's going to be just yet, but all of you guys that can draw or work magic on the computer, we're looking for an original Mod Squad logo. You'll win our upgrade to a box of your choice, a custom hat with your logo on it, and an appearance on the Mod Squad if you choose to be if you want to talk with us here, which you probably will, but hey, if you do, the option's there. And again, I don't know how long it's going to run, but start drawing, doing the computer thing.
We have a bit of news. Indiana Jones 5. It has lost its writer again, guys. Apparently,
That doesn't surprise me.
No, apparently the screenwriter David Coep, he's out. He's no longer writing the screen for Indiana Jones 5. And I didn't even know that they were making an Indiana Jones 5.
I knew they were making one for a long time. I don't know if they really need to make one. I think,
They want to make one last one with Harrison Ford. And
why?
They have been, I think they're going to pass the torch in it, or is what they're planning on doing. But they've been working on it in a couple years. Steven Spielberg actually already stepped off. I did get excited when James Mangold, the director of Logan, took over the directing duties. But now with the writer, I mean, if you look into it, they've been having writer issues for the past, 3, 4, 5 years, man.
Do you have any news, Gary?
Yeah, I do. So Marvel Entertainment is teaming up with Funko Animation, and they're going to have an animated series. It's called Marvel Battle World. So see a bunch of superheroes in there from all platforms, which I think would be kind of cool.
It's going to be on Disney.
Disney
Plus.
Yep.
That's awesome. How about you, Felix? Any news for you?
Nope.
Okay. Are you sure?
Okay, I got a little bit of news, just a little bit.
Okay.
Now, speaking of DC, the DC Dome, the DC Dome is going to premiere August 22nd at 10 a.m., I do believe. What it is just basically a Comic-Con with just DC. It's going to be, they're going to talk about the Snyder Cut. They're going to talk about Batwoman. They're going to talk about the new Aquaman, Shazam, Black Adam, even the Arrowverse, comics, anything you're into, DC-wise, they'll be covering it in this virtual, I don't know if it's going to be Zoom or a website, but they're plugging it as a virtual Comic-Con, DC Comic-Con.
The DC San Diego Comic-Con announced that recently also, and I'm wondering how they're going to do their exclusives and things like that.
Yeah,
I
mine
was
did too.
actually.
The Portland Wizard World.
What was that,
Sent out
Carrie?
something. The Portland Wizard World sent out emails about doing something like that too. So I'm just kind of curious how they're gonna do that.
Like I said the other day, I
Interesting
wish
enough,
I would.
though. Interesting enough is next month, one of the horror cons is actually adding people in Indianapolis. So it looks like that is a go-ahead so far. So things are changing in the world of Comic-Con.
Yeah, I
Nice.
got some local ones here that seem to be going in September that they have not canceled yet. So, and they keep adding people as well. Yeah.
Speaking of DC, just throwing it out there, I also heard that, you know how the NBA season is going to be shortened and something weird is going to happen with it? Well, they're going to be playing ball somewhere in Disney. I don't know if it's Orlando or California. But the NBA players will watch Black Widow 3 months earlier. They're probably going to use them because the movie's good, and for their social media platforms on Twitter or whatever, they'll hype it up.
Free advertising. I'll let you watch it if you don't spoil it. But
What he
feed
said.
it. Yeah.
Hell, I'll watch it and give them advertising.
Now is the time where we ask viewers to send us questions, and if we ask your question, you get entered in to win a free art upgrade.
If we answer your question.
If we answer your question, yeah. If we answer your question, yeah. Sorry. The first question I have is from Mr. Eric Capolo.
I heard.
I know his name. Very, very active.
Very.
Just do that.
He asked, "What is your guys' favorite old school virtual reality movie?"
Matrix.
And, yeah.
I would have to go with the Matrix too. I mean, it's not really old school, but
I was gonna go with
It's out there.
Hackers, but then I was like Matrix. I'm
yeah.
like,
You know what though? If it didn't say old school, I'd totally go with Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. How about you, Paul?
You know,
Do you have one?
Yes, and I'm going to go way past the birth of you little youngsters here. And a movie that really, if you watch it, was far beyond its time and the year it came out, and that would be Tron.
Tron. I knew you were
That's
going
a
to
good
Tron.
one. That's a good one.
Because I'm looking at it, I remember watching it, and they're glowing in the dark, and all the laser bikes and everything. I'm like, it was amazing. What, 1980, 81, whatever the heck that came out.
Yeah.
I don't know why the second one got so much hate. I actually thought it was okay, and the visuals were great on it.
It's one of those things that comes out 20 years later, and people build up, and I don't know if you can ever really do justice to some expectation.
Yeah, you can't capture the original magic that it had.
Right, and part of the magic was... Well, I think part of the problems with some movies is they were created under practical effects, and they've relied upon digital effects. So it's a completely different feel of a movie.
yeah.
Right. Just to qualify, I am going to say Matrix as well. You know,
It's not taken away from Matrix, but, Tron is an interesting watch. I remember as a kid.
I get it. But I like the visual effects in Matrix as well. It was a groundbreaking.
Yeah, it was definitely it changed a lot of movies going forward.
I totally came out of the Matrix, and I turned to my best friend. And I'm like, I don't get it.
I had the same feeling. I was completely lost on some of the parts, and I had to watch it again to
Yep.
Yeah. Knowing what it was about, watching it a second time, I was like, that's what's up.
All right, moving on.
First time, I didn't get it.
All right, moving on, we have Mr. Chuck Gilbert.
So, Chuck.
Yeah, another very active member of the Bandbox community. He asks, if you were able to score a celebrity guest to join us on the Mod Squad, who would it be? Preferably someone still alive.
Paul.
Well, I'll start with Paul, though. Paul, do you have somebody that you would invite?
I thought about this, and I've actually met him a few times in conventions, and he actually has been a signer for the Bandbox before, and he's legitimately a very earnest and nice person, Matthew Lillard.
Oh, Matthew Lillard, yeah.
Matthew Lillard,
I
yeah.
heard he's really good.
He would be a riot. I tell you, the last time I went to a convention, and there was less than 60 people in line, nobody was there yet. He got to the back of the line, and he high-fived everybody in line. Most of them, I think, lost their breath, realizing who it was, but he went and touched everybody and high-fived them all the way through the line.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie, how about you? Do you have a special celebrity guest that you would invite?
There's a lot to choose from.
That doesn't involve Superman.
Oh, well, then that cuts it down way much. I would have to go with Steve Carell. I think that would be interesting.
Good one. He'd be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine.
That's a random but good one.
Yeah.
It's only because I'm looking at my minions right here. So. But I mean, I think it would be funny because he's a comedian and he seems like he would be a nice guy.
And he could promote his new Netflix series,
Space Force.
Yeah, Space Force.
Is that the medium that says what the?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I hear it?
Let's see if he'll do it. Did you hear it?
Yeah. Felix, do you have anybody that would be a special guest?
Nope.
Celebrity guest? No?
Liar.
All I'm going to say is,
Dixon.
this is what I'm going to say. Stay tuned. You
McFarlane.
never know. He may actually pop up in a future Mod Squad video. I'm not saying what I'm saying.
Paul actually made me change my mind on who I would invite. I was going to say Gal Gadot simply because, it's Gal Gadot and she's hot. But for somebody who would be fun, I'm going to say John Barrowman. I met John Barrowman. He was in the Arrow. He was Malcolm Merlin in the Arrow. He was in Doctor Who.
Yep.
I met him last year at MegaCon, and the man is freaking full of energy. Like, he came out and he high-fived everybody that was in his line. He actually made everybody get together and take a group picture for everybody who waited for him. It was really cool. So that's who I would say.
That's actually what it's about.
And the last question is from Dylan. What is one of your favorite cartoons? I'm going to start with Felix this time. Do you have a favorite cartoon, man?
Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. I mean, that was corny as it was like a cartoon. I would have to say the Flintstones just because it popped in my head first.
Flintstones? All right. Carrie, how about you?
The Adventures of the Gummy Bears.
They are bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Paul, how about you? Do you have a favorite cartoon?
I have eras in my life where I had favorite cartoons. So, of course, my first quarter of my 10 years of my life, it was, Looney Tunes. And that was my go-to. Then in the 80s, it went to G.I. Joe and the Transformers. In the 90s, it was Simpsons. And now it's like South Park and the new age of cartoons.
If I'm gonna say my favorite cartoon now, it would be Harley Quinn from the DC universe.
I hear that's really good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you quantify the DC movies, I really, tried to get those when those come out because, I've been enjoying them. Not all of them, but, the last couple have been really good.
Well, the Harley Quinn, that's an ongoing series. It's a series that they have on there.
Yeah, I've seen that. I just, time and free kid television without a kid at home is tough sometimes.
I get it. So now is the main event. We are going to do some BAM box unboxings for box number 4.
What?
We are going to start with pop culture.
Really quick, if you don't want to get spoiled, go ahead and forward to this time right here.
Right here. Well, we're going to start with what most people pull out first is the pins. The theme for the pins was Nintendo.
Nintendo. It's a breakfast cereal.
Nintendo. You have Yoshi.
You remember that commercial? Anyone? Making me
Yoshi.
feel old. There's Yoshi.
I got Yoshi. Got Yoshi.
What's the pink one? What's his name again?
Jigglypuff.
Kirby.
Oh, that's Kirby. That's Kirby.
What did you call
Named
him?
after a vacuum.
Yeah. And then we have, this one's my favorite actually, Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. I
Sounds
love
alright.
Donkey
Did you
Kong.
take the plastic off?
Yeah, I took the plastic off. Just get rid of the glare.
I'm an inbox collector. Everything has to stay in its little.
So you're telling
Plastic
me you
sheath-
never take your
sheathing.
pens out to look at the number?
Oh,
Never,
always
no,
took it.
I never have.
He has rubber gloves in a sealed clean room.
Trying
What
to
are
get,
you
sorry guys. I'm trying
doing,
to get,
dude? Jedi mind
Come.
trick?
yeah, I'm trying to get the camera focused back on me. It was hazy. Does everybody have their art card?
Boom. And then box 3's connects.
Yes. Oh,
Order
there you
that
have it.
first. Check it out, sir. A
There you
Joker,
have it.
Hefe.
You got yours, Paul?
No, I don't.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
one would be cool to have the foil version. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I'm not, yeah.
The art card is by artist Hal Moore. Hal Moore.
How more?
Then we have the, I'm going to say prop from The Dark Knight Rises. Somebody in this video has been wanting a Gotham Badge forever to be in the box. I'm not going to say no names, Paul.
These are really
It
good.
is a very
quality,
well
too.
made. Yes. I
I
was
really
very
like this.
surprised how well it turned out.
When I opened it, I was taken aback a little bit. This is really, really nice.
I would say it's even just because of the whole package. It's probably better than the Stranger Things badge.
I have to
Yeah.
agree.
What do you say?
I do too.
Yeah. Just because you can wear it in all the different ways, and I mean, if I had to upgrade that, I would add officer names so you can
Oh, that would
tie
be
it to
cool.
all the different officers in the movie.
If we could have
Pretty
got
cool.
a couple different ones, yeah. You know, like a,
Yeah, well, they're all the same badge, but the officer badge names like Hopper from the Stranger Things,
yeah. That, oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying now.
right?
Next, we had the extra item that was thrown into the bandbox.
Why was that in the bandbox for?
The bandbox was delayed due to COVID.
Just a little bit.
Stuck in a port in California.
Yep. So there was a major lockdown in California. It's not that it affected BAM; it affected everyone because first off, there was just lack of personnel because of people going to quarantine. A lot of retailers around the country suffered from it because it turned into Christmas due to people's increased needs, but yet less workers. So they just couldn't process them fast enough. The opposite happened for the boxes going to international. There just wasn't enough flights.
It was basically, it's a global problem.
Yeah, BAM knows a lot of people, but not the federal government.
Right.
This totally living in Arizona. Every time we got ice cream from the ice cream man, this is what it looked like within a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody figured out where this is from?
I have no idea.
It is from the Spider-Verse.
I haven't seen that, so yeah, I can see why I wouldn't.
In the first 15 minutes of the movie, spoiler, Peter Parker's talking about his 10 years of being Spider-Man, and it talks about all the different things and of what it became, his notoriety, and this popped up on the screen for a split second.
Really?
Huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The more you know.
Dun, 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 dun.
And knowing is half the battle.
That's right.
True.
Yeah, Joe.
Got that plug.
And next we have the fan art print. You got Shredder running down Charlie Brown and what's her name?
Shredder running down Lucy and Linus. Was it Linus?
yours is Lucy and Linus. I have Charlie Brown and
Sally.
his sister.
Sally?
Sally.
There we go.
Sally. Yep.
The artist on this.
Wasn't there one with the little birdie?
That's out of 15.
Yeah. That's
What
out
is
of
the little
50.
bird's name though?
Woodstock.
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 Yeah.
Woodstock.
Yeah, Woodstock. Snoopy and Woodstock. This artist is Mr. Steve Jenks.
I met
like
him at
I
a
like
con.
it.
I met him at a con about a year and a half ago, and I
Oh,
got
that's
some
awesome.
prints from him, which, were similar to these. So go
That's
visit
awesome.
Mr. Steve Jenks, and I'm sure he's had a lot of cool stuff over at his site.
Oh, he really does. If you check out the Bandbox community, I did up
Yep.
a artist spotlight for him.
Yep.
Cool.
And next we have the autograph. I don't know about anybody else, but I got the comic.
So did I?
I got a comic too.
Awesome. This is Ragman #1, signed by Mr. Joe Dinical, who played Ragman on the Arrowverse TV show on Arrow.
Which one did you get, Paul?
I got the comic book also.
Oh, you did? You could have got, there was a,
I heard there was quite a
Five-
few comic books out there. So
yeah, there was 5 different comic books you could have got. And there you go. And that completes the Bandbox pop culture. Next, we're going to move on to the horror box.
Horror.
And we are going to start again with the pins. And
we got, yeah,
Booyah. Cabin
I
in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. Me and
Yes.
Marie just watched like yesterday,
really,
and if you haven't watched it,
I thought it was different. I really did.
that's why I like it. It's you think it's going to be one way, and it completely
Yeah.
is a different direction.
It's
You would
not
never
what
think
it
it's
is.
Mm-mm. And Thor in his younger days was in that. Chris Hemsworth. I call him Baby Thor.
and next we have the artist select card.
Booyah. I really like this. The artist actually was community chatting with us in the spoiler thread of the community. He's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, look, if I put it up
think,
like this, I
Paul,
look like Mike Myers. That's cool.
and if you look at the little TV in the back, it's got the 3 little heads from Part 3, Halloween 3.
Yep.
That's cool.
Which is questionable on the timeline, but we won't go there.
Well, it's fan art, and this was by.
I do. And that's what if you want to look at it like that, I do like fan art. I like collages. I like how things are just smashed together, and the what ifs especially. That's
Right.
really cool.
What I thought was funny, though, is in the movie in Part 3, they're actually on the screen in the bar scene, Halloween's playing. So here it's kind of the opposite in the card form.
Hal Moore as well. There you go, Hal Moore.
And if he's watching, what's up, man? Like I said, he was talking with us in the community. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Next we have the prop.
Yeah. Check it out.
From
Carl.
No, it's
This is-
coral. Coral.
This is from a TV show that did not make any list for the best TV show around. It got
Here.
knocked out by another.
Best show ever.
Not according to a.
At least I represent my show and know and won the trivia that we played a couple episodes back. I actually know my show. So what are you talking about?
Next, we have the
Carl.
art by Mr. Brett Weddle.
I freaking love this one.
Yeah, me too. A lot of people did in the community.
Does anybody remember when he was previously in the Bandbox?
No. What did he do previously?
Carnage.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, is he the one that did that?
He's
The
one that
watercolor
did
Carnage?
Yeah. See, that's why you guys need to have me on here.
there you go.
Right.
Yeah, he did the
Oh.
Carnage.
This was an extra item thrown in as well because the horror box was also late because of Same thing for the pop culture. It was held up in custom. Next, another Steve Jenks print.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out.
And I was
one of the
tripping on the crossover until I saw your spotlight, Kevin. And that's all he does, pretty much, is the crossovers.
Yeah.
Or he does a lot of them.
And what a lot of people don't know is you could put them together.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
That's pretty bad.
they connect.
So it makes a long one then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, one's chasing after the other.
That's pretty cool. I knew that. I'm just saying.
We when we got a print from him originally, it was a Charlie Brown theme, but it was a great pumpkin, but it had pumpkin head behind him.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the autograph.
Eddie!
From we had the Walking Dead Rick Grimes badge. Now we have the governor's daughter.
Governor
What's her name, Felix?
Benny.
Penny. All right, what's her Kylie? I can't never pronounce her last name. Can you pronounce her last name? Yep, it's Kylie something.
I like the silver on this one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for anybody who is watching and got a pop, hit me up, please.
Yeah, there were also signed McFarlane figures and
Yep.
signed pops.
I'd love to get one of the McFarlane figures, to tell you the truth.
Same here.
All right, and that does it for the Bandbox pop culture and horror.
Don't forget, in every box there is also a scratcher card where you have a chance to win upgrades
Yes.
and bandboxes.
Get a chance to win a TV, a PS4,
Or
free boxes, free big boxes.
Now I'm going to hand it over to Paul. I believe Paul has some Triple P, Paul's Policies and Procedures.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so a lot of times I am the one who goes through a lot of the emails and messages and responds to a lot of you. And I want to get through them as fast as we can just so we can resolve your question or answer or, bring clarity. Sometimes I get very simple questions which are good. However, it's just worth my box. But sometimes, for instance, like on the messenger, your name will not match your subscription or your account, and there's no email. So then I got to go back and ask you for that information. And so then it takes a little bit longer to go back and forth just to send you a tracking number or give you an update of whatever box you may be looking for. Additionally, like I've had, this is what people want me to change their address, which is wonderful, but I don't have the information. Then I got to go back and ask you, well, what's your address? And so just when you send in a request, put as much information as you can, you think I might need, and I'll bust them out as fast as I can.
Awesome. That's actually very helpful news. And that goes for, even if you're reaching out to a moderator, if you need help. Give us all the information that you think we may need so we don't have to keep, going back and forth to get the information from you.
For instance, right now, we're going through a lot of questions about, and I understand completely, they're kind of blended together. Box 4, Box 5, Box 6, the gamers on Box 7. Well, I understand if you're a new subscriber, it's confusing. One thing, if you just provide us with the date in which you started your subscription, we'll know pretty fast of which box you're supposed to get in.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't forget to ask a question on every video. If we answer your question, your name will get put in the bucket for a chance to win an art upgrade in the box of your choice. Also, new contest. If you can come up with a logo, if it wins, and you'll get a free art upgrade, a free hat with your design on it, and a chance to be on the Mod Squad.
And I believe that does it for this episode of the Mod Squad. For Carrie, Felix, and Paul, I'm Kevin saying keep on bamming, bammers.
stay golden.
I'm sorry, Kiki.
Maybe that, you know what?
And this fan art card is by
Maybe
and
that,
this fan
you know
art
what?
and this fan
That
art
could've
card
been
is by
Maybe
and
that,
this fan
you know
art
what?
and this fan
That
art
could've
card
been
is by
That's it. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun. Yeah,
Oh my
right.
gosh.
Stay off the soft.